Hey YouTube, how's it going? Thomas here. Welcome back for another video. I think this is our video 13. In this video, I was actually going to do blue research, but I thought about it and I figured what I would do is I'd get our basic research taken care of and we would actually do our advanced oil refining in this video. So this video, we're going to go over advanced oil refining. Now, advanced oil refining is basically what we just unlocked here in our research. We didn't have it in our last video, but I'm going to go ahead and set this up here so we have about some of these are set up as advanced oil refining. Now, we didn't have that until I completed my research. So I did my research. Now we have it. And that's absolutely great. So we're going to set a few of these up so it's advanced oil refining, and right there that's not going to work. See, that's what happens. You put these little things in, stuff like that, and you mess up yourself. So I'll still drop that in there, but we're going to do advanced oil refining in this video, and I want to explain this to you and set this up for you guys just so you know. Advanced oil refining is a great thing. So the way what we got to do is we're going to do our advanced oil refining, but the main important thing is the reason I'm doing this video is I want to explain to you guys how do you balance an oil refinery. I thought that was going to be very important, and I was going to actually not do a video on this, but I want to go ahead and give you guys a video here just so you guys can understand how a refinery works. So we're going to go into chemical plants to start with. So chemical plants is your baseline for your refining. Okay, so you're going to have you got to find a place in here somewhere, and we got light oil, heavy oil. So we'll just go right here to about, we want to line that up there so we're not going to be in the way of tapping into something by mistake. So we'll come right about here and we'll just do several spaces. So we'll do about 6 of these to start with. Okay, so we got 6 there, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to repeat the process. Now we want to leave about 3 spaces. So let's double check, make sure that's 3. And the reason for 3 is because this is going to be basically our belts that's going to come through here. This is going to take everything, and this is all going to get transferred here into fuel is what we're going to do as far as this one goes. So we'll go ahead and set this up here. Now this is going to be fuel blocks to get rid of excess, and I also would like to have some solid fuel as far as my train depot and stuff goes. So we'll do this right here. And these, whether I use these or not, that's a different story. Okay, using them is one thing, not using them is another. So in addition, what we want to do is, so since we've got this here set up, we're going to go ahead and run our power to them. And this is one way to do it. Now, I'm not going to really use this here too awful much. I do want some fuel, but this is going to be like my final, like my, okay, troubleshooting. Let's try to balance this up just a little bit better here. That's what this here is. That's what these are. So we have heavy oil going in right here, and I do believe that we can convert heavy oil into light oil. So let's just double check here. Let's click a factor here just to see what we can do. So we can turn heavy oil into light oil. All right. That's not good. I'm confused. All right, light oil cracking to petroleum gas. So we can take light oil and turn it to petroleum gas. We can also take heavy oil and turn it to light oil. So it goes heavy, then light. So we got a heavy pipeline here. So what we would do is, let's see, where are we here? I don't think I have enough chemical factories actually to do this here. I should have built some more. But what you want to do is you just do a couple like this, and then you come straight over and you go like this, and there's your petroleum to light. So for example, I can take, let's say, heavy oil here, and you can do more or less your heavy oil, which actually that requires water. So that's not going to work because we don't have no water down here. But you could actually come up here, and what you would do is you would also do like heavy to light, which also requires water. So we'd have to do a water pipeline. That's going to be a little bit more complicated, but it's not such a big deal. Now, as far as fuel goes here, let's go ahead and do our light oil in these. So you can see it's this light fuel input, and that's the problem right now. Is we have too much. If you look down here, our tanks, you can see there's heavy, there's light, we got a ton of light oil, and we have no petroleum gas. So we need to get rid of this light oil. And up here we have heavy, so I can take these and say heavy, but I don't think heavy is too much of a problem. So as far as heavy goes, we'll just take a couple of these and we will turn it off. But we're going to leave them all on for just the current time being. So let's do this right here. Let's put this pole here, and then we'll put another pole right down there. So now we have all of our heavy oil production and all that good stuff. So what we'll do is we're just going to tie all this light stuff here together. And this is where all your threes and proper balances and stuff come into play, because now, as you can see right there, everything just ties together nice and neat. And this is why you set your stuff up like this. So there's your basic solid fuel for more or less. And I do I have my stack inserted? No, I don't. That'll be my next research project, is to get those stacked and search, but we'll use a fast one right there, and that'll keep this clear. So now our refineries are working just a little bit better because we have to find a place to put all this light oil. So light oil is still at 24K, heavy is down low, light's still there. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to go to our production tab, since we have some of this stuff going. And this is where you really balance your stuff. So you have items and everyone looks at this stuff. You want to look at fuels. And don't go 5 seconds. You want to typically do about a minute. And this will show you where you're at as far as fuel goes. So we have our lubrication. That's not relevant. Sulfuric acid, non-relevant. You want to look at here as far as you want to look at light oils, heavy oils, and then petroleum gas. We're trying to get petroleum gas. That's what we want. And we want the petroleum gas, all these numbers. We want light oil, heavy oil, and petroleum gas to be balanced. So that means we want them all to be the same. If you look at my consumption here, this will give me probably a little bit. This will give me kind of a more accurate number. But see, heavy oils is 20. Light oils is 200, and this right here is petroleum gas is up here. 5 seconds is just really, it's inaccurate. So we're just gonna have to kind of watch this more on the 1 minute. I was looking at the 1 hour a few minutes ago. That kind of gives me the overall, or since I would just do all, which is better, see, because it's refinery, it's new, so all will probably be the most effective. But you can see the production, petroleum gas 55, 30, 40, it's not really working for us. So we have to get these all so they're relatively balanced. Now, because we did put these advanced refineries in, the percentages are different. Now, with regular refineries, which I like to actually just use regular refineries like this here, because it is a little bit easier to balance them. But you have to look at that production. But here you're getting a lot less heavy oils than you are your petroleum. So what you've got to come down here and do is you just got to keep at it. And right here we can see our light oil is just maxing out. So what we need to do is I think we just need to wash some of this oil. And I think we could do us a nice little wash plant. We'll just do a wash plant right here, because what did I say? We needed a couple things, right? We'll just go ahead and drop this right here. That's not going to work. Let's change this up just a tad bit, because I need 2 things. I need to go down about 3, and we'll just run these. Okay, this is not going to work. We're not going to be able to build here. We're going to have to come up here and build. So let's go back up to the top of our base, shall we? I told you guys right in that last video. Just watch that little corner. No. All right, let's run up here. We're going to have to run up here to the top, because this is where our water is up here. And this will work up here without a hitch. We shouldn't have no issues up here building. So what we'll do here, because I do need the water, so we'll just put a tap there, tap, tap, and then we'll run it over. So we'll do it right there, and that will be that's all we need. Now what we want to do is we're going to try to get back to our chemical plants here. So chemical plants, what we'll do is we'll just place 1. This is not going to work yet again. So we'll do that. I'm going to change this up again. So we'll come here, this will be 1, this will be our water. We'll run our water this way. And then we'll come down 1, and this will be our light, or whatever oil is going to be here. So that's how we'll do that. And we'll just retap and connect our water. So there's our water. Now let's go ahead and tie everything else together here. See what we can get. I'm going to start down here. So leave 1 space, 1 space. Should have enough things. So no, that'll work out great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to frack light oil into petroleum gas. That's what we're going to do. Switch them up here. Okay, so now we need the light oil. So what we'll do is we'll come right here. We'll do our light oil, and then that'll get tied into the main line, as you can see. We'll now do our water. So our water will come up. We'll do water, 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 and we'll just tie all of our water here together. This will be great. And I mean, guys, I'm telling you, setting this up, it takes time, but getting everything so it balances your advanced oil production, it's time consuming. It really is. It's not all that bad. It's just, you have to toy with it. It just takes time. I know some people struggle with it, but as far as how we set this up now, we'll just run this back, and this pipe is going to be right in our way. I hate it when that happens. See how that's right there? This comes boom. So we're not going to be able to do it like this, but what we can do is we can just go like this. We'll just put 1 pipe over sideways. This is why it's always good to leave spaces for whatever you do. And I'm going to have to actually get through here, so I don't feel like walking around. That's why I did that. And now we'll just put that back. Okay, so that's going to tie us everything together here. And now we're going to go ahead and we'll put in power here for this. There we go. So now what we'll do is, using these right here, we're going to produce more petroleum gas by taking our light oil and then converting it. And this will actually be really good at trying to help balance things out. Heavy oil struggling, light oil, we just got so much light oil. It's unreal. So let's go ahead and run back down here. I think I need to put a crossing right in here, I think, because I've got to get back and forth somewhere here. I can run all the way up, but I'm not. So I think a crossing right here would be perfect. We'll go ahead and drop a crossing in. And crossings are that's all you got to do for a crossing. Just place a few pipes, just a place where you can actually get across here. That's all you need, guys. All right, there we go. Now I just need one here on the water. All right, there we go. So I can get to my rail depot and everything, get back across here. All right, so there's our crossing. I'd like to have one right there, but that ain't gonna happen. So everything's starting to look a little bit better. Let's look down here at our fuel. The best thing to really do is just kind of look at your fuel storage tanks just to see where it's at. Heavy oil is really low, and you got your light oil right there. So we're still getting way, way too much. It looks like the petroleum gas, some of that's catching up. So let's look at these here. Let's look at our refinery. Go back and look at some of the refineries. I might want to up it and make some more advanced refineries here. So as far as this goes, you're getting 30, 30, 30, 30, 40. And our advanced, we're going to come down here and we're going to go with, see, we're getting 45, 45, and then only 10 heavy. So really the advanced oil is actually hurting us more than it's actually helping us at this point, because it would be more balanced if we was going to go with something like this up here. So I'm thinking what we might want to do is we might want to do away with some of that. Now I don't really know if I want to do that or not. So let's just try this here. This is going to help balance us out, trust me guys. We'll just switch these back here, and then that's going to actually put everything back to normal. Now the water input, it'll just, the plants will ignore that. But this will give us more balance there. Our petroleum gas, let's see, we're going to switch these. So it does take time. It's a lot of just flipping things around and just trying to set it. And see, we're getting more heavy oil now, and I'm wanting to try to get that light oil down. The light oil is really not going nowhere. So what we want to do is we want to come up here. Let's go ahead and stop messing with our heavy oils. We'll just go ahead and stop this. We'll just do 2 of those. Actually, we'll do it this way. That way the belts don't get clogged up here. And we'll erase these. So that's why you have a lot of these things here, is because these are your balancers. This is how you actually control your system. You actually just want to get in here and you control it by just turning these on and off. And this will help you balance. So we're going to reduce the fuel. We're using a lot of light fuel. We can just kind of look at our tanks here now. So the petroleum's 8K. This is 20K. It's stable. Everything's really working. Heavy oil is slowly coming up. So let's look at our production tab here. I mean, using a fuel tanks is one of the best ways to do it. So we can look at 1 minute, and looks like our heavy and our light oils are now about the same as far as production goes. But we're over here at 9K production, and now we need to look at our consumption tab. So let's look at our consumption. So consumption is for light oil is actually 5K. So we got more light oil now, it looks like, being used than we do heavy oil and petroleum gas, which is relatively balanced. But if we're going to run out of probably light oil is what's going to happen, because we're using too much light oil. Our petroleum gas is up. Our heavy oil is still really, really, really low. I'm trying to figure out where are we using all this heavy oil at. I'm thinking, oh, that's why we're using a lot of heavy oil right here. See, we're using it on our lubrication. So let's just go ahead and stop all the heavy oil right here as well. I just want to stop this all together, and that way we'll just kill it. That way we won't be making any solid fuel using heavy oil. We'll just be using light oil to make fuel. Okay, now we'll go back down here and we'll look again. Where's our light oil at? It's 22K. I think we need more facilities using the light oil. But as far as, you know, the easy way to balance this stuff, guys, I'm telling you, it's better off not even to use your advanced oil refining. Just you know, in a way, you're almost better off, not building advanced refineries, just using basic refineries, because it gets you all screwed up as far as your production tabs go. Because the percentages is different, and when you get those different percentages, this one's like 10, this one's 30, 40, whatever, it really makes it a lot more complicated, because these are just 30, 30, 40, so these are all relatively close. So it's easier to just leave these the same, even though you might not need that extra fuel or whatever you're trying to do. It's still just a little bit, tad bit more balanced. So, okay. So here we have 500. So that's coming up. These are staying the same. Our heavy oil, I think, is where we're going to end up having problems, because I don't think we're going to have enough heavy oil. We're going to have more light and petroleum gas. Because up here, I'm pretty sure we are using heavy oil somewhere. I don't actually know we're not. So it's just lubrication is where all of our heavy oil goes. And if I need to, I might want to stop some of my... what I'll do next is, since we stopped heavy oil here, we'll come down here, and right here where this heavy oil is, we'll just stop it, and that'll take it off of our lubrication and stuff. So, but I am going to have problems once these lubrication tanks do get full, as far as my heavy oil goes. So we'll look at our tab again, and we'll look at our fuels. We'll keep going back and forth. This is just a lot of back and forth, guys, I'm telling you. So, petroleum gas productions, 9K, 4K, 4K. So, that tells me a lot right there. And as far as consumption goes, really the easiest way to read this, and I'll tell you, is whatever your production is here, your consumption over here should be the same. So your consumption and your production should be about the same. So we're using productions 4K heavy. We got 4.5K heavy, so we're just right under that number. Our light oil is, we're actually consuming more light oil than we are producing light oil. So that tells me right there, there's a problem, because this light oil will run, ultimately it's going to run out on us, and that's going to cause problems with our refinery. So I need to reduce that number so these numbers match. We're pulling way too much. So what we'll do is we'll take these here, and we'll just turn a couple of these off, and that'll balance us some more. All right, so there we have it. We got that down. Now let's look back at our fuel tab here. We'll go to seconds now. So we're getting, what are we getting? We're getting consumption 400 and some a second, 390 a second, 460 a second, 390, 460. Okay, we need to turn a couple more off here. We'll turn those off there. Now we'll look here back at our tab, at our stats. We'll go back to our fuels. So now we're getting 390, 440. So our consumption's still high. Our consumption, we got to get these numbers the same. I don't understand why that's not dropping down. I don't know why our production is not coming up. So that's definitely, we got a little bit of a problem right there. Let's go ahead back over here. Let's throw on a couple of these. Let's just put these back to advance. But yeah, guys, this is your refineries. And, when you play with these, it does get you a while going there. It takes a while to get the stuff to actually, actually all work and function properly. Oh, that worked good. That worked good. Look at that. See, our consumption is around 440, right? And over here, our production is around 440. So those two numbers are good. Now, our heavy oils, we got a 310. We got right around 370. So we got just a little bit too much heavy oil. Now, the real number is the petroleum gas. So petroleum gas is right there. It's around 400. That's our consumption. And over here, our production is over 800 now. That's way, way off. But more accurate numbers is, production is 10K a minute. Consumption is only 4K a minute. So we need to get those numbers to match up better. So, or try to get things balanced. But I do know now that I am producing more petroleum gas than I am anything else, which is going to be fine and dandy. As far as some of these things go, these factories would probably produce just a little bit better if I would input water into them up here versus crude, because they're not really operating at full speed just due to the fact that I don't have, both pipes are hooked up, and you want to hook both pipes up. So, all right. So this is, guys, how you really balance your refineries. This is advanced oil production. I'm not going to keep going into it with you because I think you guys kind of get the concept. It's just a lot of back and forth. There's really no number crunching, because as you input more stuff into your system, your logistic system, and stuff like that, and then you add more and more and more, everything, it's constantly out of whack. So you just really, all you can do is you can just go to your production tab here, look at it, and you just want to see what your 1 minute production rate is. Trying to keep it as close as possible. That way, consumption, we got room to expand for more petroleum gas. I can easily up that. I'll use that in a few minutes probably. Our consumption is 3K on heavy. our production is a little less than what we need as far as heavy goes. But as you can see, it's relatively balanced right there. It's close. The light oil, we're producing now more light oil than we need, so production is higher on the light oil than the consumption, so that's going to go back. So all I have to do now is just remember how we had these factories here before set up right here. I'll just add a couple more of these, just put 2 of those back right here. So click that, boom boom, we'll put those there, and that'll balance our light oil. So just guys, all you got to do is, as far as this right here goes, these fuel plants, just build a bunch of these. That's what you want, and you can just turn them on and off as needed to help balance your refineries. Just have a couple different rows of them, different ones. Have the other kind like we have here up towards the top. I might actually move that up here. But just like we have right here where we're producing light oil into petroleum gas, just have a couple rows of these. Have a few rows of these down here, and you just turn them on and off. That's all you guys do. Just on, off, on, off. Makes life so simple, makes it so easy. And you guys can really get your base and stuff going good as far as your oil production goes by doing it in this method. And if you guys noticed how my refinery set up here, see how everything's running long ways with the refinery? All my other buildings run sideways. That's how you really want to be setting this kind of stuff up. So you run everything sideways in addition to your refineries going up and down, which I always ran my refineries this way and then just ran everything up and down that way. But, this is actually a good design right here of how you actually want to be putting your refineries and get that stuff actually functioning properly. So keep that in mind, guys. You can also see where other production and stuff, like over here, it's not keeping up. Belts are getting backed up a little bit, and that's slowing it up and messing up my petroleum gas and different things. So we'll get it figured out as we expand and our base grows and develops. Don't worry. Right there, you can see our production now. See 4K petroleum gas consumptions. 4K. That's good. Heavy oil is 2K. 2K heavy. Light oil production is higher on the light oil than the consumption. So we're still having issues there with that light oil, but for the most part, everything else looks like it is balancing. We're getting some balance there. We're still having some problems with that light oil. I think those numbers are going up. Let's just look at our storage tanks down here, and you can see the heavy's really low. The petroleum gas looks like it's actually just maxed out. That's not too good. I might have to put some more storage tanks in here to try to get this stuff running, but I think the heavy oils is what's really giving us our problem right now, because we're draining the heavy oils. The light oil's not there, and then we're getting too much petroleum gas. We're not using enough petroleum gas fast enough. So we'll get it figured out, guys. Don't you worry. It definitely takes time, and it's not easy, but it's just you're constantly tweaking your refineries. Anytime you build something in your factory where you're pulling from the refineries, you're going back, retweaking them, trying to get light oil or heavy oil or petroleum gas and just stuff like that. I would personally rather have more petroleum gas than anything, but as far as heavy oil goes, I need heavy oil too, because I have to have lubrication. So it's a no-win situation. You're always going to be tweaking. But anyways, guys, hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. It probably confused you more than anything. But now we're going to go ahead and move into our next video, I guess, and we're going to start on to our blue research production. I think that's going to be important. But anyways, guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and peace out.